Good morning, everybody. This is Eddie J on Crypto, and here is where we take a deeper dive. So, John E. Deaton, attorney in the lawsuit against Ripple by the SEC. This guy is no joke. He is not somebody to be written off easily. You got to take him serious. He was an amicus attorney in another case against LBRY that the SEC has brought. The judge there had originally given a ruling and made it easier for the SEC to say that cryptos are securities. Well, the judge laced in yesterday and said, listen, no, we're going to clarify that. That's too broad. So Mr. Deaton had made a couple of points, and the judge looked at the SEC attorneys and said, you agree with Mr. Deaton, right? And they said yes. You want to know what they agreed to? Secondary sales of tokens are not considered securities by the SEC. That's huge. It minimizes the amount of damage stemming from the XRP case, right? Or the Ripple case. And the reason why I say that, and I'm not an attorney, but this is my take on it. The reason why I say that is because when you look at that, what you're getting is a view that the initial sale could be a security transaction, and hence the SEC could be involved. However, the subsequent sale, the secondary sale, meaning if I sold the token to you, the first time this token was available, I sold it to you, that could be a securities thing. But if you sell it to her, that is not. Which means that for XRP, okay, our initial coin offering was a security. Mea culpa. What's the penalty? We'll pay it. Goodbye. Shut up. Because now that would say everything else is done, taken care of, all finished. I'm thinking the SEC's case just got a huge hole in it. And I don't think they have enough buckets to bail themselves out. Twitter. Now, I keep telling you about DOGE, right? DOGE has one thing. They got one thing, and that's the hope that Elon will actually use it on Twitter for payments. Well, it's been leaked that they are working on some kind of a payment situation for Twitter so that Twitter can increase its revenue opportunities. Awesome. That's great. Bitcoin's going to be there, most likely Ethereum, but no mention of DOGE. But because they said crypto could be involved, DOGE went on a 6% rise. Hope? Really? That's what we've got. We've got hope. So I'm not against DOGE, but I don't know that that's enough for me. Meanwhile, Shiba Inu, Shiba Army is no freaking joke. They've got something where they're building an ecosystem that it's not meant to rival Polygon, but it's mimicking Polygon. Their increase in the use of their platform as an ecosystem for projects to come in and use their platform, obviously leveraging Shiba Inu, is a very big deal. Look at the success of Polygon. Stop there. Again, I keep telling people, stop calling SHIB a meme coin. That's the dumbest thing you can say now. A couple of years ago, you could have said that. Right now, it's not a meme coin anymore. They've got use cases. They have things that are going on. As a matter of fact, when Shibarium comes out, when Shibarium is finally released, they're actually expecting other projects to also be released. Something else that's in that pipeline is one of my long shots, which is UFO gaming. I sit back and I just go, wow. They are building opportunity, whereas DOGE is hoping for one. I think that's the difference between the two systems, the two platforms. If DOGE would start thinking about, if the DOGE team would start thinking about how it can actually become something, do something, I think that's where they can win. Until that happens, I'm just going to yawn. Now, with that said, I told you a while ago, not even a while ago, a couple of weeks ago, DCG's world is just not looking good. Now, it's been quiet for a few days, but guess what? Now, there's Osprey Funds is actually bringing a suit against Grayscale. owned by DCG. Now, that lawsuit says that when they were going for their spot Bitcoin ETF, they were telling their customers a whole bunch of things and just really bigging it up, most likely to gain market share. And this is allegedly, this is what they're alleging in the lawsuit. And it was also alleging in the lawsuit that, it's a done deal. Regulators will definitely give it to us. Well, that obviously we know that didn't happen. And Osprey just said, yeah, we're not having it. We're taking you to court. That's a big deal. That's another problem that the DCG, ecosystem just does not need right now. So I'm still looking to see how they're going to raise money to fill all the gaps and holes and problems that they have, and see how that transpires. Good news, Sorare, they have, a soccer, well, we call it soccer, but a football, that's what it really is, a football gaming platform worth about, I think it's valued at about 4 something billion. They just signed a deal with UK's Premier League. That's huge. I know we were expecting a lot to happen with, Algo and Chili's with regard to the World Cup. Didn't happen. But I still think that sports is a very big deal for those kinds of platforms. And Sorare might have just signed a really good deal. It's a multi-year deal with Premier League. So we're going to watch and see how that plays out. Something else that I'm paying attention to is the idea of a centralized exchange and a well-established financial institution coming together to create a prepaid crypto credit card, Binance and Mastercard. And it's being launched in Brazil. That's really cool. That's awesome. But again, I say centralized, and I key in on that because the more adoption you get in crypto, the more people are going to realize I do not require a third party for this transaction. And by leveraging crypto, instead of credit cards, I'm learning how to live with the money that I have within my means, as opposed to leveraging a credit card, even if it's prepaid. Especially if it's prepaid. What the hell do I need that for? Prepaid? I can just use my crypto. Boop, boop. Done. So paying attention to that. Other good news, this is wickedly wild good news. Chainlink is about to introduce dynamic NFTs, and they're comparing it to the idea of dynamic web pages, right? When the internet first came out, everything was a static thing. If you wanted to update your website, you had to go update a page instead of something being able to reflect dynamic information, meaning you updated the database and the web page reflects what's now new in the database. Guess what? When that comes out, Chainlink is going to help NFTs create crazy use cases. That dynamic piece to NFTs could be a really big thing in the space. Imagine how that could be leveraged to track real estate sales, car sales, maintenance on anything. If you're a homeowner, you know what it means to actually track everything that you've got fixed in your house. Plumbers, electricians, your heating system, just everything, every little thing, you'd be able to track that. That's kind of cool. That's kind of big. So again, that solidifies Chainlink, Link, as a very big part of what I call my connective tissue portfolio. Another member of that portfolio is indeed Polygon. Do your own research and start to develop your own portfolios based on what your preferences are. I have that. I'd like to hear about what you have. Something else that shocked me is Philip Hammond is the former Chancellor of the United Kingdom. And he says the United Kingdom is falling behind in their digital asset journey. Falling behind Switzerland, falling behind the EU, both are ahead of the UK. He's supposed to take the helm of this custodial company called Copper. Well, guess what? Copper was going to register in the UK, And what did they do? They said, nah, screw that. They registered in Switzerland. What? So think about this. Think about this. The news itself is pretty cool, but it's another example of how somebody with power, or who used to have power but has name, basically dropped a press release that's being seen as news. So he's getting the benefit of maintaining his status, and Copper gets some free space. That's pretty slick. That's pretty slick. The other piece of news really is the UK is falling behind. And I hate to say it, but if the United States doesn't step up their game, they're going to fall behind. Something else that happened that isn't good for Gemini is they got delisted. Their stablecoin got delisted by OKX, right? So their stablecoin being delisted by OKX, they just depegged. It just depegged. That's another problem for Gemini. So I look at all these things and I just go, there are a lot of things that are happening here and now that will affect the future, right? It's affecting here and now, and it's affecting the future. That case against Ripple by the SEC, whoa, that is here and now. That limits the exposure that Ripple has. It has to. It has to. So when I look at that, yeah, I am. There are certain coins that today I'm just like, yep, gonna pick some of that up, gonna pick some of that up, gonna pick some of that up. I will pick some of that up when it pulls back a little bit. These are the things that I'm paying attention to. Mind you, Chainlink dropped that news. Okay, just to go back to that story, Chainlink dropped that news and they had already dropped below $7. That's an immediate pickup. For me, that's an immediate pickup. Told my kids, and I was like, yay. Because that's connective tissue. Chainlink is the world's biggest oracle, and they have been making news. They have been doing things. Again, connective tissue. Connective tissue. Think about Shiba Inu and what I just told you. If Shiba Inu actually builds out an ecosystem that is similar to Polygon's, they become connective tissue. More projects being built on that platform, akin to Arbitrum, Optimism, Cosmos, just Polygon, all of those things. That becomes a really big deal. Pay attention to these things. Do your own research and connect the dots. Don't just listen to the news that I'm giving you now. Go back to my older videos, go back to my older articles and see if you can connect the dots. There are a lot of things that I said back then that are going to come to fruition in the future that can actually help you in your research. Anyway, this is Eddie J on crypto. Now it's time to actually get to the numbers. Let's see. Boom. And you know what? Let's get to these numbers first. So first we have, top 25, bottom 25. Refresh the data and see what we have. Let's see who we're paying attention to. Harmony down 8%. Who else? Anybody else I'm paying attention to? Helium down 5%. But again, 5% unless you're swinging both ways. I'm not paying attention. I make note in case there was an opportunity where helium had gone up and now there's a 5% pullback. I'll be paying attention because this could be a good time for me to get in on helium if I like helium. So these are the reasons why I pay attention. Axie Infinity, another one. I told you last week there was some news around Axie Infinity. They went up a bit. Now they've pulled back 5%. For me, that's an opportunity where I could actually key in and buy. On the upside, we actually don't have a lot of upside movement. Right about here is where you stop paying attention. Doge, again, like I said, up 6%. That's great. Up 6% on Hope. Now my question is going to be, can it maintain that 6% bump up? I think there's going to be a pullback because Hope is just not enough. If something does happen when it pulls back, that can be an opportunity to purchase if you're somebody that actually believes in that project. Nothing wrong with that. I even told you what would trigger me to believe in the project. But there's got to be more. There's really got to be more. Ethereum name service 4%. Yeah, so there's nothing else that I'm paying attention to on this end. right? Let's see. Tuesday we have some economic reports that came out, not economic reports, but company listings that Exxon came out with their numbers. Really wasn't paying attention to that because there was no big hit on crypto space today. Fear and greed index, we were up at like 62 yesterday. We're down to 51. So we were having greed. Now we're neutral. See that? We're neutral right now. So to me, good time for me to get in, right? Doubt. Maybe they're not even having a doubt. Maybe they were holding something that went up a little bit and they shaved off some profit. Nothing wrong with that. None at all. Something else that I want you to pay attention to. Again, we're far away from that low of 15,482, but we still have a problem getting above and maintaining above that 23,417 number. That is a critical number, and not a lot of people are paying attention to it. I am, but not a lot of people are paying attention to that. Before we can even think about getting to 25,210, you've got to pay attention to 23,417. Looking at everything across the board, I'm thinking, remember Bitcoin was below 23,000 for a little bit. Now it's back above. Still a good time to me to buy in. Same thing with Ethereum, same thing with a lot. XRP was up at 41. And you're talking about, just a few weeks ago, it was down at 33 cents. Now with all this news, I think it's going to explode soon. Because it's going to start hitting people that, holy moly, they've got a lot of things going on outside the United States. And within the United States is the only place where they have a problem. And we just got crazy good news about it. Yeah, growing my bag on that one. Cardano, don't sleep on freaking Cardano. Go do your research and see where Cardano is on that list of coins. What are they, number 6 or something like that? Number 7, whatever it is, that's a big deal. As a matter of fact, we can go see where they are. Number 8, there you go. They're at number 8 with a $13 billion market cap. Don't sleep on Cardano. That's what I keep saying. That's what I keep telling people. Don't sleep on projects that are becoming ecosystems. Pay attention to those projects that are becoming ecosystems. Keyword ecosystem means we're trying to become connective tissue. Projects are coming to us to build. That is the big deal. I pay attention to it. You should pay attention to it. All right? In a big fashion. I'm actually hoping that Solana can make its way back. And the reason why is because it's crazy fast. It's a crazy fast platform. I just need to be able to trust its reliability. That's what I need. If they can solve that problem, I'm all in on Solana. But I need to see that. Anyway, this is Eddie J on Crypto. I hope my research helps you. If you need anything, if you have some questions, if you want to educate me, please do, because I'm always looking to learn. Hit me up, all right? Have a good one. Bye-bye.